Hi everyone, Chris here, and I'm out on the front stoop waiting for my brother to arrive. And it sort of brought up a really big instructional design related question, and that is, how do we explain to friends and families what we actually do? And it's it's kind of interesting for me because I remember finding out that there um, were other instructional designers in my family, and I didn't even know. I think that Um, probably the funniest story is that my mom's cousin Kathy has been an instructional designer forever. And, growing up, all we ever heard was, oh, yeah, she does something fancy and important. So the joke in our family is that, you know, now that I'm doing that too, I'm also doing something fancy and important. And so are you if you're watching this, which is great. But how do we actually describe it? I mean, instructional designer seems to be a descriptive word, but in, even within the profession, we have all all kinds of learning experience designer, instructional designer, e-learning manager, like all of these different things, and they're all kind of in flux. It's one of the things that frustrates me about instructional design as a field. You know, most other professions have very clearly defined job titles, and instructional design is not one of them. So I typically end up just sort of describing what I do. Um, I make instructional media, or depending on who I'm talking to, I might say that my job is to make sure that people who go through training get something out of it. And because nobody wants to hear, especially friends, families, or even potential clients, they don't want to hear about learning objectives and blooms, and they don't want to hear about HTML5. None of that stuff. So that's kind of my question for the day is, how do you describe instructional design to friends and families and other people who just are curious but not really interested, if you know what I mean? All right. Well, I will talk with you tomorrow.